Also welcome. All right, I'm getting us a spoon because we definitely need that. You will see me add this first to our pan. This is a banana liqueur. It gives it that extra banana taste. And lastly, our rum is 8% dark, no higher. All right, and in our pan, unsalted butter, lots of brown sugar to create that brulee, and cinnamon. This was the original ingredients, and I will talk about that of how it was created here. So let's get it started. This all came about back in 1951. Miss Ella Brennan created this dessert from a breakfast taken from her mother's cookbook. So originally, it was created for Mr. Richard Foster, and Mr. Richard was a friend of the families of both Owen, our proprietor, the very first Brennan, and then Miss Ella Brennan was the youngest sister. She was just 25 years old. Mr. Owen was the president of the Birthplace, which was a crime-fighting division here in New Orleans dedicated against mafia members taking over our beautiful city and restaurants. So he wanted to leave that legacy as part of what he did for New Orleans. And shortly after, Mr. Richard Foster joined and became voted into as chairman. So when he found out that his good friend Richard was being named chairman, he wanted, of course, to celebrate that occasion for him by hosting a dinner party here at Brennan's for Richard. Now, originally he had decided that he was going to create a dessert that was something new, something fresh, something exciting. And for this, he went to Ella, who he felt was a really great cook and who would be someone that makes something creative, or he felt that she was really great at creating things, especially last minute. Not that he purposely made that as a last minute ordeal, but he did go to her very last minute and asked her to make something for him. Now, Miss Ella goes into the kitchen and she finds a big box of bananas. That is what started this all. So when she sees that box of bananas, she is reminded of a sweet treat her mom would make for them. Over on Sunday morning, she would brulee the ingredients just in the pan, no banana liqueur yet or rum. And then she would brulee that for her young kids. Then she would pour it over whatever fresh fruit they had at their table and a little side of scrambled eggs. Miss Ella, remember, she's always loved that brulee and thought it would make an excellent dessert. Of course, removing the scrambled eggs. Of course, so she's got to go back into the kitchen and sees a lot of vanilla ice cream. And she has a light laugh because this is now Miss Ella's way to get over on her brother for tasking her this so last minute. See, Mr. Owen's got a lot of vanilla because he's not a fan of it. He only has it for young kids whenever they come in with their parents, just to kind of thank their parents. But he's not at all a fan, and he thinks it's very childish, so he doesn't want it at his fine dining establishment. Miss Ella's going to use it anyway because she's got very last minute. Like I said, I think it was her way of kind of getting him back. And now for the way to make it something big and something grand, she's got a little bit of thinking, but she's in luck because a neighboring restaurant called Antoine's has what's called the baked Alaska. That dessert she knew was being flambéed, but in the kitchen, not yet tableside. So she's going to take their idea and make it even better by flambéing it for Mr. Richard tableside. And surely that is very impressive back in 1951. Are we ready for this fire, y'all?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3. And banana saucers. So of course it's still impressive also in 2025. Now when Mr. Owen saw that vanilla ice cream leave, he is the only one upset in the restaurant, out of the whole restaurant at this point. And he calls over Ella and he says, Ella, I'm grateful that you found something to cook for Mr. Richard and that you impressed it, but I'm not going to add it to the menu, he says to her. So all that hard work. She was a bit upset about it, but the good side to that is, remember, we had some important guests there that day. So the following morning, Mr. Owen comes into his restaurant and he sees, again a little bit late, he sees a long line of guests that are waiting, and he's excited because he's thinking to himself, I finally did it. I've gotten the popularity to the restaurant that I want. So it turns out that our very important guests have printed a newspaper article in the Times New Orleans that said what you should do when in New Orleans. And of course, on the top of the list was breakfast at Brennan's is a must, and you have to end it following with the flaming bananas is the name that they gave to it. So Mr. Owen goes to his guests and he starts asking them, are you enjoying your food? Is everything okay? And everyone says the same thing. We're enjoying it. But where are the flaming bananas on the menu? Much like our guests ask about bananas Foster's today. And so when he hears this, he knows now he's made a great mistake. So he calls Ella over. He says, Ella, I might not be a fan of vanilla ice cream, but apparently the guests love it, so we are adding it to the menu. And what do you know? On that day, this becomes the #1 ordered item for 74 years running, guys. So that's a cute. So here we have world famous bananas Foster.
Thank you very much.
You're so very welcome. Thank you for your attention.